Today is a really beautiful day somewhere in the beginning of the spring, and as you can see we are near the animal wildlife here. These are, I'm not sure, but I think these are tigers or something, and as you can see I'm really not scared of tigers. There's some lions too, but I think they're scared of me. This is indeed the ideal weather to work a bit in the garden, but I don't like to work in the garden. So let's find us an excuse to not work in the garden, but do something in the workshop. Hey, here's your bread, you stupid animal. Let's go to the workshop and do something useless. In a previous video, some people asked me to do a little shop tour, but I already did that in another video. But let's give you a little glimpse. This is of course the backside of my house. It's not my house, I rent it here, with carport, with a trailer and tractor. And here is my forging equipment, a pile of future projects, and then the blue homemade garage door. Let's go inside. My grinding corner and dirty shoes, belt sander, other belt sander, of course homemade, the cheap door, the lathe, the radio corner, the shaper, the drill press, and of course the blackboard. And here's all my tools hidden inside. And in this corner is the welding equipment, the coat hanger, the wooden shaper model, and a part of my hammer collection. I have more hammers, but I still need to make a new hammer rack. If we go to this corner, here we see shaper tools, and I think we're gonna talk a bit how to make shaper tools. If you watch in the shaper books, sometimes you will see that the ideal cutting tool, the roughing tool for steel, will have this form: round, break. This tool now is cutting out of the blackboard to the camera. This angle will be 15, 20 degrees, somewhere between 15 and 20. This of course is the surface, the cut surface, the workpiece. This angle somewhere between 15 and 20 degrees. Now this angle in fact is not that important. It's this angle that's important, because if we cut, of course here is the surface of the workpiece that is not yet cut, so we take this away. The chip that's formed gonna curl and move away from the finished part. If we have a cutting tool with the I'm gonna make it a bit smaller because now my blackboard is full of lines. This way, cutting tool, okay. This is the part we're going to cut. This of course same angle between 15 and 20 degrees, and this angle is negative. So if we're gonna cut, the chip is gonna curl and it's gonna touch the finished surface. Of course, if the chip rub on the finished surface, you will never have a nice finish. That's why we have this. I'm going to take all this away again. That's why we have this positive angle here between 15 and 20 degrees. Now, this, if you make a tool like this, that's lots of grinding work. What I do, and for me it works fine, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just showing how I do it. I have here my cutting tool. Now this is a right hand cutting tool, and I just showed you a left hand cutting tool. I'm gonna take the other one, it's more obvious. Voila, let's make a little drawing. This is my steel blank. Yeah. This is the cutting side, relief angle. So my workpiece will look like this, more or less. Yeah. This one is about 90 degrees. So if you want to be sure that the chip does not touch the finished surface, put all your tool in an angle, and to make your tool you have way less grinding work. You do not have to cut off all this angle and then make a new angle on the back side. No need. This is the roughing tool I made a while ago, and it works extremely well. But on camera, this little thing you cannot see very well, so let's make it a little bit bigger. Now, what I want to show, we're gonna measure these angles, so we need to know this angle, of course. This is the cutting side, so we need to know this angle. We need to know this angle, and then after we're gonna look at the bottom side. So let's draw here somewhere the bottom side. Start with a square. Am I in frame? Yes, I am. We cut off this little triangle. We cut off this little triangle. So this disappears and this disappears. We're gonna measure this angle. Oops. And the other one, but in fact is the same. A quick and easy way for the hobby shop machinist for measuring angles is to use the surface plate. This is my homemade surface plate. If you don't have, no problem, you will survive. You take a good square or whatever, and you put the tool on the side. Voila. And now we can read here this angle 7 degrees. Turn the tool a bit around. Going to measure the other angle to the side. 6 degrees, almost 7 degrees. You see, this is a quick and easy way. Of course, it's not really accurate, but for the hobbies, you know, that will do. If it's 7 degrees or 8 degrees, whatever, from the moment it works, it works. Now this bottom angle we can measure to this system. Here we go. 82 degrees. If we want to make a right shoulder with this tool, it's perfectly possible, because this angle is less than 90 degrees. To make these tools, in fact, it is really easy to do. If you have a little cheap bench grinder, as mine, you will see that will do.
First of all, take care that the distance between the wheel and the table here no more than 2 millimeters. Otherwise you risk that your tool will be eaten by the machine, so less than 2 millimeters. Very important. Start grinding, take away all this face, and then at the end you go easy, slowly, and you will see that the sparks come over this edge. There, that's where you stop. Make the point, same angle. You give it a little bit of rake angle, so not 90 degrees, but turn a bit more. That's why I made this tool post table thing here a bit longer. More stability. No problem. Cut off the bottom at less than 90 degrees. And the little radius you make, you double the feet. If you have a feet of 1 you're going to use on a machine, you take a radius of 2. All you need to do. Nice and shiny. Bottom side. Less than 90 degrees. No problem. The little radius just barely touching. That's all. The rake surface, a little bit, we're gonna give it 2 or 3 degrees, that's enough. I have to rough it a bit more because we see it's not touching yet. Okay, I suppose you get the point. Sometimes after sharpening a tool bit like this one, I reworked the top surface. You feel that maybe it's not cutting that much, and then you see people making late tools start honing with diamond things and all. Okay, that's perfect. If you have, no problem, but I don't have. I have a surface. Now you can use a tile or a mirror or whatever, a piece of glass. Wet and dry sandpaper. This is dry, so make it wet. And you put the surface of your cutting tool and you feel when it's nice and flat on the surface. If you push the tool is gonna dig in the sandpaper and is gonna wear this cutting surface, this cutting edge. So we're gonna pull the tool, feel it nice and flat, move it backwards. And then you see this gray dust. Okay, and then you feel, oh, that's way better, way better. This surface, pull backwards. Do not push the cutting edge into the sandpaper. Pull. And then you can see that the paper is just cutting off the back side and a little bit the front side, because of course this surface is not flat, it's curved. Aha, way better. Okay. Perfect. That's all it takes. I suppose I had a little visit of Bozo. I didn't put enough space on the eccentric, so the feed mechanism stopped working. But that's okay, now it's fixed, no problem. And then, for I don't know what reason, my camera stopped working. And now also that is fixed. So I think the surface finish for a roughing tool looks good. But we're gonna do that again.
I think today really is Bozo Day because the footage I filmed to show you the surface finish was completely out of focus, so there's nothing to see. So now I redo it, but of course the surface finish can't show it anymore because it doesn't exist anymore. But okay, let's go on. Cutting tools. As I showed you, this cutting tool really easy to make. Just take care that this rake angle for steel, of course, make it about between 7 degrees and even 15 degrees. I make it 7 degrees because of my bench grinder is on about 7 degrees. And this relief angle in the book is marked 4 degrees. Now that's relative, because if you make, for example, 2 degrees, it will be good too, and this angle will not wear out as quick as when you make it, for example, 10 degrees. If you make it 10 degrees, the tool wants to dig in more in the material. You will not have a good surface finish. So I think this angle, play around with it, give it a try. For me, between 4 and 7 degrees is perfect, works extremely well. Now, a few weeks ago I found this old tap on the street. Yes, on the street. So I picked it up, and I think this is gonna be a nice shear tool. Perfecto. A nice little shear tool with air cooling fins. Whatever. Now what the shear tool does, let's put it on the blackboard. I have my shear tool with the rake angle 7 degrees. The bottom is rounded, just to be sure you have clearance in both directions. And this angle is of course also 7 degrees, but then straight, of course, voila, something like that. The not yet cut material is right here. Now if you use a shear tool, you take really light cuts, maybe 1/20th of a millimeter. That's really not much. What's nice about this system, I hope, I never tried it, is that I can change the angle in whatever angle I want. For the moment I've set it about
It's not really precise measure system, but it gives you an idea. I have 70 degrees. In the shaper books they mark that you will put it at 45 degrees. But my personal experience tells me that 45 is not enough. I have another shear tool at 55 degrees and it goes way better. This now, 70 degrees, we'll see. Of course, we start cutting on this side and we go to here. So the chip will curl off on this side. The cutting speed for shear tools, you take half of normal tool cutting speed. Mild steel somewhere between 20 and 25 meters per minute. The shear tool take about half. Surface finish is not terrible. It's not bad, but could be better. What happens is that the clapper, in fact, it's a little bit sticky, and sometimes it doesn't go back all the way. It doesn't cut, and on the next cut, then it cuts way deeper. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my rubber bands again and take another cut and see what happens. Did you ever see a nice and beautiful finish like this on a piece of mild steel made with an old tap? Now there's only one tool, there's lots of tools of course, but the tool that we use on cast iron is the round nose tool. I'm not gonna get too far into it because it's a very easy to make tool. You make a point, make it a round nose, and the rake angle is 0. Cast iron always 0 rake. This 4 degree relief angle on the back, of course I did cut it off a bit more because I did something else with it, but the idea is still the same. Round nose tool. This is a tool I use to make slots with the shaper, and the tool itself is a broken drill bit. This week I also received a little package from Jew from Tennessee. Now everyone knows Jew because there's only one Jew, I suppose, in Tennessee, and Jew, he makes these coins. There's €1 coin and one American coin. And the fun trick is, this side you see the €1, and the other side you see the €1. And on this coin you see the head, and the other side you see the head. And I think, Jew, this is beautifully made. It's a piece of art. You cannot even see how he did it to put these two halves together. That's really beautiful work. What I wanted to point out too, and that is very, very important, these animals you saw in the garden is the neighbor's garden, it's not mine, it's not mine animals. I checked on Google, it is goats and chickens, chicken dips, so not lions. I hope you found it interesting. What I wanted to point out, in fact, in this video, is that you don't need much to make something. If you have all these fancy tools and machines, okay, that's fine, but you don't need, if you have only, for example, a shaper and some basic things, you can make something. So I think the most important is to try things out. If you make a shear tool, maybe for me it works, and exactly the same tool on your shaper will not work that well because of whatever reason. So try out.
make something, change the angle, break tools, have fun, and one day you will have fantastic results.